Welcome back, everybody. I'm Sean LaFlock. I'm here with Scotty Hagness. This is Conversations, Fitness, Wellness, and Longevity. Scott, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How are you
Uh,
doing there?
I'm doing okay. I'm a little on edge right now. I had disappointment in the workout this morning. I'm
Oh, you've
pretty
already done it.
pretty deflated, but again, I feel that way right now just because I had an expectation of how things would go, and my the rug gets pulled out from under you a little bit. But I know through experiences before that things happen for a reason, and I'm not the person I need to be in order for me to complete this workout. So I kind of got to go to the drawing board a little bit. We can talk about what's going on and how to go from there. So I warmed up, got a good night's sleep last night. So for those of you who don't know what the workout is this week, it's 18.4 that we're talking about, and it is Diane, which is 21:15:9 deadlifts and handstand push-ups into 21:15:9 deadlifts with a heavier weight, and then handstand walks. The two things that the thing that changed this year is the handstand push-up standard. So now it is your height plus half of your forearm length to your fist.
Hmm.
Um, so I warmed up well for the deadlift, that kind of thing. I watched Myra do it. Myra actually finished it in 8:53 or 8:43. So she
Whoa,
she did fairly well.
smoking. Yeah, yeah. Nice.
We broke it up right from the beginning, and I again that was kind of what my philosophy was in this workout was. I think I had her do 6-5-5-5 on the first set of deadlifts, and then I believe she did 11 and 10, and then maybe 5-5-5 on the handstand push-ups, and then like 5-4, and she did that the same for the deadlifts, and then got to the the 205 bar, and she did. I think she just did three and then two and then a one and then a two and then a one and a two and just kind of crunched through the 21.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Went
ground
unbroken on the
away.
handstand walk, which wasn't a problem for her. Then back to the bar. I think she did like doubles and singles for the 15 reps. Did the handstand walk unbroken, and then came back and I think did three and then two, 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 one or something like that. So she grinded through it and then finished the handstand walk unbroken again. The handstand, I didn't foresee for me the handstand standard being that tough, being that different because I do practice very good handstand quality and that kind of stuff. But
Yeah, it was no
um,
joke, right? Like
it's
I,
legit.
I went out and measured mine, and I'm, not injured or anything, but I had someone check me out, and it was a struggle to get to where I needed to be to lock out reps.
Yep.
It was much harder than the prior standard, which
Oh my God, yeah, and that's what
was,
your reference is, right?
yeah.
So yeah, that definitely dejected me. So I did the 21. I kicked up on the wall and did some handstand push-ups, and it was good. You know what I mean? Like no problem. As soon as you kick up into the wall and you're now trying to do them with volume and your rib cage, you're getting more extension from your low back than you are your thoracic. That's when
Hmm.
the standard starts to really file in because you're not getting the same height from your low back as you are from your mid back. So
Hmm.
that flare of the rib cage definitely cost me. And I think I got no rep like three times on the first 21. And then I was like,
Oh boy.
okay, let's just stop there. I was like, I'm not ready to do this standard. It's only going to get worse from here. So I was like, I did 21 deadlifts. I did the 21 handstand push-ups. And I was like, okay, we're done. So I shut it down there and then, worked mobility and worked some breathing exercises and kind of really assessed what's going on. Because the deadlifts didn't feel great as is. Not something where I would be able to be substantial on the 315. I built
Hmm.
up the 315 in the warm up and I did a quick triple at it, and it just felt like dog shit as is. And then the handstand push up, my shoulders felt very open, but it was that positional. But it's probably just being super flat right now through my upper back and thoracic that prevents me from getting the flexion from my upper back, um, and it's kind of going into my lower back right now. So, again, like I opened up with the podcast, like I'm not the person I need to be to do well in this workout right now. So I got to kind of get to the drawing board over the next day or so and kind of understand what I want to do, where do I need to go. And again, this is always pushes me out of the areas that I think I'm good at, and it pushes me further into mastery of those skills and positions. So, definitely again I have an air of like disappointment on me, but on the other side I know it's gonna be worth it.
Yeah, it's probably a good call. Shut it down rather than getting a bad result and adding that fatigue. Practice, mobilize.
Basically, it was, yeah, just a little practice run, see what the standard was like. I only did 21 deadlifts and 21 handstand push-ups. It's not like
Yeah,
it killed me.
no, yeah.
Either I'll probably hit it tomorrow. I'm itching to maybe to hit it tonight, but I think the right thing to do would be to hit it tomorrow,
Yeah,
and
most likely.
just sit on it for one more day, um, and own it and earn it. You know what I mean? Not force it and think that I'm good to go, but actually improve.
Hmm.
Accept where I am right now, and then improve to a point where I can actually uphold the standard and not bullshit it and have to fucking grind through deadlifts with terrible technique. I want to be able to use the floor. I want to be able to drive with my legs. So this again pushes me out of what I feel I'm capable of, and then going to the next step. So, in a lot of ways, challenges like this, um, if you have the correct mindset, have the capability of massive improvements in your overall abilities.
Yeah, okay. Stepping stone to the next level.
You're right, absolutely. You got to break yourself down to build yourself up a little bit. Now, did you happen to watch Scott and Giancarlo Godinson go last night?
Yeah, I did.
So when the workout came out, what was your thoughts? First off, did we call
First
it?
off, I was like, yes, I called the handstand walk.
And we've been saying that the entire time, and I've been having my athletes train handstand walks like I knew it was going to happen, and it was actually cool to get validated in that way. I
Yeah,
wish it didn't have heavy deadlifts just for my own sake, but um, I think it's a fair workout. I think if you're gonna have people go to regionals, I think it's fair. I think
oh
most
yeah. If you're a
most
regional, you
yep. The other thing
okay.
is I think most people who are just an avid CrossFitter doing Diane in under 9 minutes is like a challenge. Like that's a pretty cool thing. You're doing a benchmark workout and you're trying to get it under 9 minutes. Now that being
Yeah,
said, then giving them a bonus of having as many deadlifts at 315 basically in the time remaining, I don't love that. Or
yeah.
205 for the ladies respectively.
I'm sure there will be some ugly form under fatigue. Or
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
but yeah. I
that's the
mean, it's not
sport a
like
little
that
bit.
isn't true of a lot of these workouts.
Yep. And I kind of feel bad for some people who have been really hitting the handstand walks who aren't going to actually see them. You know what I
Right?
mean?
Yeah, exactly. I have some folks, same thing. I had a handful of folks really make good breakthroughs in the last few months and really start dialing in handstand walks, but
Yep.
I highly doubt they'll actually see them.
Yeah, and you know what it is? It sucks. Not sucks, but it's if you're not getting to that. I mean, if it takes you that 6 minutes ish, you're not getting through the 21 315 pound slash 205 pound deadlifts. You're
Exactly.
having to do that Diane in under 430 to get through to that to even have a chance at heading the handstand walks.
Yeah.
Um,
No, they're kind of funny. Aside, I've got a guy, one of my programming clients. He's like 63, and he's turned into a handstand walking beast. The other day, we were two cones. He'll go out and do a perfect 180 around a cone, and then
oh, that's
zigzag back
awesome.
around the other cone. And of course, he can't take advantage of his skill because even to be RX, he can't do handstand walking.
Yep. Uh,
but it's just something that he decided he wanted to chase to a high degree, and
yep. It's interesting. The as last week was a double under workout with some skill involved. This is a deadlift workout. Obviously, this is 90
yeah,
deadlifts under moderate to heavy load. Um, so if you're good at handstand push-ups and you're not good at deadlifts, you're going to suffer.
it's still going to
However,
be not that good for him.
in just thinking about that, if you're great at deadlifts but you can't uphold the handstand push-up standard, it's going to be miserable.
And you're not getting that many deadlifts done, taking advantage of what you can do, because you're
Exactly.
going to be stuck over on the wall fighting for every rep.
I mean, I was in a handstand. I thought I was a full lockdown handstand, freestanding, or not freestanding, but my feet on the wall, waiting, like, am I there? Am I there? I mean, I'm reaching up to my shoulders, and they're like, no, you're still half. I'm like, and you get to a point where you're like, what do I have to do to get my, heels over this line? But again, it's about position of your midline. If your midline is not in the right spot, it's definitely going to be a challenge for you. The other thing is that if you don't have correct proportions, it's going to be also more challenging for you to get to uphold that standard. So if you have very long forearms, long hands relative to your height, this is going to be miserable. And I can envision a bunch of CrossFit athletes like Elijah Muhammad, who has notoriously long arms and is not. I mean, he's probably got the wingspan of like a 6'6" person, and he's only about 6 foot. He's going to have a really challenging time with this.
Well, here's another thing which I found is the other large group of CrossFitters are going to have issues with this are all the guys mostly, but women too, that can't fully lock out their elbows because it does not take into account the fact that if I can't lock out my elbows, I technically am not quite as tall when I'm stacked, right?
Miserable. I know exactly who you're talking about. I have a lot of guys who are in the same boat. They're like here overhead.
Yep.
Like on pull-ups, they'll do their pull-ups like this. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah. And that's,
you might be wearing high
heels. I
heels
can only imagine at least that's got to be at least an inch, for some people, if not more. Yeah. Just right there.
And, and a lot of people could piss and moan about the standard. I like it. I like the standard.
I like that there is a standard, and if it makes you lock them all the way out, then absolutely. And everyone's got to do it,
Yes. And that's, absolutely. And that, like, it takes away the ambiguity. It takes the subjectivity away because, I'll be the first one to say that on the old handstand push-up standard, you extend your lower back, you pull your shoulder blades together, and that's the standard. Like, if everybody is doing it, you got to do it. If you could be the martyr and be miserable, but this way they're doing it, it really makes it challenging for you to skirt the system, and I really appreciate that they've taken the time to kind of think this through and make some kind of standardization that makes it
a little better, yeah.
A little better, right? A little better.
Yeah. Well, remember when the first standard came out several years ago, that threw people for a loop. It was, hard to get the full range. And so now just another level now.
Absolutely. It's interesting because Scott Panchak actually opened the CrossFit Open Series with handstand push-ups. He went against Josh Bridges, and Josh Bridges got crushed on that workout. He was
the one he was having a really hard time making.
Couldn't uphold the standard
at that time. New standard, right?
Yep.
And then he figured it out and came back within a couple of days and put up a really good score, if I remember right.
Figured it out, also known as figured out how to measure himself correctly. He's a guy who can't lock his elbows out with his hands over his head.
Yep. So that would be added challenge for sure.
Absolutely. The other thing that will vary from person to person is what's the ability to bring your hands in toward each other to increase the height of your body. So obviously, if you're a person who's in that Y shape and you're doing your handstand push-ups out here, and you're all of a sudden forced to bring your hands in, but now that brings your shoulder into a lower position. Now you're fighting against that shoulder position. So, you may not be able to bring your hands in. Now you're really having to rely on your ability to get that shoulder flexed, get that straight body line, that kind of thing. It's kind of what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
So
make some interesting challenges for different strategies to warm up athletes that are going to be facing that.
Yep. A lot of lat warm up, a lot of, getting the hip flexors and the psoas kind of opened up a little bit because it's a flexion extension movement. If you're a person who uses your lower back on handstand push-ups, you are going to have a bad workout.
Yep.
What do you think about the scaled workout?
I think it's still, as we talked about last week, trying the scaled workout, trying to deliver the similar metabolic feel to a fairly high level person doing the RX one. And in that regard, I think it delivers. I mean, as we mentioned last week, we train mostly a Gen Pop clientele. And so I've seen two groups already do it. All except one guy doing it in some scale. The cool thing about the morning class, I had from people that were fairly new, women, men, more experienced people. Everybody did it, and this is an oxymoron. They did it RX scaled.
Yes,
scaled RX, right?
There you go.
And everyone did it and got what I would say is a really good stimulus.
Yep.
And, nobody went to, pure shit form by any means. It was really good. I was really impressed. And I think everyone got the feel of the workout.
I wholeheartedly agree. I love this as a scaled workout. There's obviously individuals who can't, get to those weights. I think it's 135, 185 for the gentlemen, 95, 135 for the ladies.
Yep.
But for the, average RX CrossFitter, you RX most workouts in the gym, this is an awesome workout. I love that they put the bear crawl in. You know us, we're very functional movement based, and it is after doing all those deadlifts and hand release push-ups. By the way, the hand release push-up, if the standard is upheld, that is as much or all the more difficult than handstand push-ups, in my opinion.
Yeah, kipping ones for sure. Yeah,
100%. Those bear crawls are going to feel spicy. And I saw all those athletes. It's spicy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Bear crawls is when you're fatigued are no joke. And they do nothing to bring your heart rate down.
That's a good
that's
point.
For damn sure.
Yep. So, I had, like I said, those good RX CrossFitters in my gym. They don't have high skill mastery. Like they can get a muscle up. They can do decent handstand push-ups. Maybe like a mid 300 to 400 pound deadlift, not tons of capacity. Great workout for them. I mean, they were finishing right underneath that 9-minute time cap, and they were just kind of bulldozing their way through the finish line on the bear crawl. So I was really, really happy with the way that they brought that out. They didn't make it like a dumbbell overhead walking lunge, which really doesn't deliver quite the same stimulus. You know what I mean?
Right.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I like it. I like
they
it a
kept
lot.
it to the distance and and weight on hands. That was good.
Yeah. So, this is week 4 of the Open. We got one more week to go, but overall, and I don't want to get too crazy with the Open, just because I know we're more general fitness clientele. You're not going to have the freaking elite CrossFitters diving into all of what we say. But what are your thoughts on the Open this year? Because this is profoundly different, in my opinion, than years before.
Yeah, it has a definite different feel. I like it. I mean, maybe it's we've both been around to see all of them.
Yep.
And I like this. I think the scaled edition, especially the way they did it this year, is really cool. I like that. I think the workouts have been challenging, and they found a way to kind of bring a touch of more, at least maybe old regional-esque type workouts and feel in.
Yeah.
The ability to do the scale makes a nice separation where we can throw stuff out that we never would have seen before.
Yep. Good point. That's actually a good point. Like those 2011, 2012, maybe even 2013 regional style workouts. We did Diana's the first workout in 2012. Yep. And then we had a max snatch. One of them was dumbbell snatches in running. Another one was over that. You're right. It's almost shifting
row,
that
pistol,
regional
hang clean.
Yeah. Yep, it's almost shifting that regional workout, kind of cutting it off where it's like, okay, those who are legit and who are going to be making regionals are going to be able to hang here, and then from there, still giving good workouts out to the scaled athletes.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I've noticed too is, and obviously it's a slightly different group of athletes every year, but every workout, every group that I've been, involved with here has enjoyed and thought everyone was fun. Some of them are painful and miserable and, all that stuff that we love to hate. But, I don't remember that ever being the case in the same way in other years. There's usually ones people just didn't want to do or, this sucks,
Yeah.
But everybody's like, damn, that was fun. Everyone's pumped to do, for each week,
Yep. I completely agree. I actually am looking forward to doing this scaled one day. Like, I'd much rather be doing this scaled. I think it would be a much better stimulus. I think it would be a lot less, pressure, so to speak, but it would still be good workouts. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm looking forward to the day where I don't have to necessarily do these RX and just kind of get some good training in, 4 or 5 times a week, be able to go outside, be able to do this, but then also be able to participate in a way that I don't think it's beneath me. I think all these scaled workouts are good. for the avid CrossFitter who's not looking to go to regionals or that competitive, and it allows you to participate. It allows you to participate within the group.
Yep, totally. And they also have a certain feel of the early years and the loads, before things got, crazier and elite. That's what workouts looked like.
Yeah.
Maybe not some of the more complicated, multifaceted things, but just the loads and movements mostly in general.
Someone actually let me know yesterday that, and I don't know if you knew about this, was Canada West gets 5 regional spots. So out of all of Canada West, you get 5 regional spots for that region. So Brent Fikowski right now is in 5th place in his region.
Whoa, man.
Yeah.
I know it's gnarly this year.
And then I think they saw, again, I have to go through this, but South America has its own regional, and they send one person. They just send the best person in the region, and they get to go to the games. So very different. Obviously, they're starting to weight certain areas, and they're starting to see where the regional competitors are actually coming from. What are your thoughts on that, Scott?
It's difficult. I mean, we're in with all of California this year.
Yep.
So it really changes the potential field that'll be going.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. We're keeping an eye on CrossFit Fort Vancouver. My friends up there. This would be if they can do it, it'd be their 10th straight year going to the games, and it's also Adam Knifer's last year. He's going to retire after this year. He's been on every team. But now with only 4 of them, and with all of California, the road,
becomes much more challenging.
Much more challenging. I mean,
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Well, I wish good luck to Fort Vancouver. I know that you've got a special place for those guys. And it's that time of the week, Scott. There's one last week to go.
Prediction time.
What are your predictions for open workout 18.5? Oh, by the way, before we go back, I just wanted to mention that I redid 18.3, and I got another 38 reps or something like that. Ooh, so I got 48 reps after the muscle ups, and that ended up being 50th in the region. Nice. So that's I think that's my best performance in a open workout since I made regionals in 2012. So nice. That was a good one for me.
That's early, yeah.
And of course, obviously we go from the penthouse to the outhouse now, and now I got to throw around some 315 deadlifts, and things become a little more sticky. But I just wanted to throw that out there. And
that's awesome. Yeah.
It was a good workout, and I was really happy with the performance. And even though I wasn't feeling awesome because doing that 14-minute workout took a lot out of me on Friday, and be able to come back on Monday and hammer it pretty good. It was good. This week, however, is probably going to be a one and done. Make sure that first attempt is a fantastic one, and
make it count.
If a gun is to your head and it's Monday night, you got to do it. But I think it's a one and done for most people here.
Yeah, that's a lot of deadlifts to have to try and come back and do again.
Yeah, that's
days.
Potential of 90 deadlifts, half of them at 225, half of them at 315. So, all right. So this is old news. Let's talk about next week. What's your prediction?
Well, I think I'd be a fool to bet against thrusters in some way, though that could be a curveball. We haven't seen a repeat yet. Of course, the 5th workout has been repeat in the past, I think on at least 2 occasions.
Yep.
Assuming that it's going to be a repeat and assuming it's going to have thrusters, which one do you think it would be? We've seen bar over burpees, so maybe it's not that awful one. We haven't seen the Fran-esque one that was from the repeat would be from some of the earlier years.
Yep. 2013, we did the 1550 2 rounds of chest to bar thruster.
Yeah.
If after 4 minutes,
I think it would be because we haven't seen pull-ups.
All right. Here's the thing.
Anyway, in RX,
they might do that and say, "Forget the barbell. You're grabbing your dumbbells."
That could be.
And that would be disaster. That would be some disaster. Say that again, Scott.
Ooh, 50 pound. I said the other thing we haven't seen, though I don't know if that they would fit in here, is wall balls.
Wall balls
could be the first wall ball free open. But can you imagine chest to bar Fran with dumbbells? Ooh, that would be not a repeat, but either some kind of repeat thruster repeat chest to bar. If I had to call, I would say one of the chest to
So
bar
we could definitely say
Fran-esque.
chest to bar is going to be in there next week.
I'm thinking
I
so,
agree.
but you never know.
I
But
agree.
that would be. I'd have to go thrusters and chest to bar in some manner.
Okay.
Possibly a repeat of one of the. I think there were two different ones that had that in it, right?
Yeah, there was the
There was
3.6699,
11.6.
which was yes, that was 11.6, 336699, right?
I think so, yeah.
And as high up the ladder as you can go. And I believe they
Yeah.
repeated that the following year.
Yeah, that
Then
was
the
the
year
first
after,
repeat.
then the year after that, they did the 15-15, 2 rounds,
Yep.
4-minute cap, and if you made it, you made another 4 minutes.
Yeah.
The following year, they did the row thruster, right?
14 was that was the first year, the burpee.
Burpee over bar thruster.
Burpee over bar thruster.
Then it was the
came.
row thruster.
Yep.
Then it was, did they repeat the burpee over the bar thruster?
Yes.
And then last year was the double under thruster.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, yeah, chest to bar thruster. That's my bet, and I think you're the same.
There we go. Yep, there we go.
All right, perfect. Scott, you got anything else?
Nope. I think I'm good.
Well, we are almost done with the open madness here, and we can get back to brass tacks and start getting people more fit, more well, and have more longevity. But until then, I am Sean LaFlock. You can get me at Sean@CrossFitDarbyBeach.com.
I'm Scott Hagness. You can get me at Scott@CrossFitPortland.com.
Scotty, enjoy the rest of the week, man.
Yeah, good luck this week.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, talk to you later.
Later, dude.